So this is not exactly how I expected my Sunday would go. But my mom has been without power all day and the temperature's starting to drop. So, and my grandmother is in the hospital, so my dog and I are going over to get a fire lit so the pipes don't freeze. So, let's see how this goes. So the road looks clear. What I'm worried about is that it is still very wet. And the temperature said 32 a minute ago. So maybe since it's right on the cusp, I'm okay. I think it's about 9 miles between my house and my grandmother's house. I know that once I get a fire built at my grandma's house, like I said, she's in the hospital. She was admitted yesterday. My mom has been at her house all day with her miniature Dachshund, so he's not at home alone. But my mom's power is also out and has been all day at her house, so we might have to go to her house and build a fire in her fireplace just to make sure that everything stays above freezing tonight. So I got advice from my grandma to take this side road up here that doesn't have any steep embankments. I live, I guess you could say I live in town because I live close to the interstate, but actually it's still a pretty rural area. So Tennessee does not get that much snow, honestly. So this is record snowfall. I think we got about, I didn't go out and measure it, but I know that I had neighbors that said they got about 8.5 inches. I think it was 8.7 when I watched the news earlier is what they were recording, and the record was like 7.2. So we had a really bad blizzard, which I know it hit a lot of areas in 93, and that's kind of what they were comparing this to, which is, like I said, very unusual for us, especially this early in the year, like before Christmas. If we get snow here, it's usually like mid to late January or even early February. We just honestly do not get a lot of snow. But I'm going to turn the camera off because I know this makes a lot of people like have motion sickness. So I'll give you an update. So we are currently on this little side road or back road that my grandmother told me to take. It looks like people have been in and out this road a lot. It's not a very long road. There may be like, I don't know, at most 15 houses, and I honestly don't think there are that many. It is kind of a 1.5 lane road. You kind of got to get off to the side for someone to pass. Luckily, I haven't had to pass anyone yet. My car is kind of dragging snow, which I don't have a lot of ground clearance under it. But I figured I was safer in this car as opposed to the other one. The other one is very small, and I honestly, I don't know. I guess I worry about small cars being safe. I don't want to think about it, but like in a rollover situation or, you know, hitting a tree or something like that. I do have a mount on the camera, so please don't think that I'm just, you know, willy-nilly holding the camera and not paying attention to the road. But it is a bumpy road, so I'm not going to keep you on the whole time. I should be getting pretty close to the end now, actually. But this road is flatter than the other road. It's still a curvy back road, but there aren't as many like steep embankments, which is I think what my grandma was worried about. She was worried about me hitting ice and like sliding off. But I will update you when I get there. You can see they have obviously had some trees down today. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the power off and I'll update you in a minute. Okay, so several hours later, I'm still at my grandmother's house. My car wouldn't make it up her driveway. She lives on a pretty steep hill and it was frozen. And over here they got about 8-9 inches. So I parked my car in what used to be like a little country store across the road, and it got stuck. So Mom and I were not able to get it unstuck right after I got here. So we decided that we would go down, try to get the car unstuck, and bring wood back up from her Jeep because it was also stuck and wouldn't make it up the driveway. So as we're walking over to her Jeep to get some wood out to bring it up the hill, I look around and notice that 2 neighbors had power. And I was like, gosh. I was like, he's got power. He's got power. I look up on the hill and I could see the garage light on. And I was like, okay, so let's just walk up the hill, catch our breath, and we'll come back down with snow shovels and dig out the car. So we got up here, sat down. Power was on for about, sorry, that's my dog and my grandma's dog. Hey, 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 boys, lay down. Lay down. Right there is a good spot. Good job. So, came in, it was on for about 25 minutes. Hey, boys. Hey, Chance. That's not cool. Okay, try that again. So, we come back up, put a pie in the oven, and sat down on the couch, and the power went back out. And it came back on, and it went back out, and it came back on, and it went back out. It's been back on now for a little while. So we walked down to get the car out. So the car is now dug out and backed up into the driveway, just barely off the road. So I'm going to load up my dog and hike back down to the car and, fingers crossed, make it home. It does seem to be melting some, and so I'm guessing that the temperature did come back up a few degrees because the snow's melting. So I'll update when I get home. So Chance and I are headed home, and there was just a salt plow truck that was off the side of the road, but they did let me get around. They were getting ready to winch him out. And this is that back road that I took to get to my grandma's house, and you can see they had a lot of down trees. Like I said, this is a pretty narrow road, but I don't have to worry about sliding off into like a big gully, or I mean maybe a little gully, but I don't have to worry about sliding off like a big bluff or anything. So I'm just doing about 10 miles an hour, just kind of coasting through. And once I get back on, I guess you would say, the main road from here, it goes pretty much straight to the street that I live on. So I'll turn onto that street and go attempt to get out my driveway. You can see they had more trees down here. So they have already, of course, called off school, and they canceled both of our church services today, this morning and this evening, just because no one needs to be out driving. They were much safer at home, and I would not have came out today had it not been what I thought was an emergency. Didn't want my mom to freeze to death, or Max, my grandma's little nature dachshund. So I did hit a couple slick spots, but like I said, they are out salting as soon as they get the salt truck out of the ditch. So I'm just gonna take my time get home. I am worried about getting up the driveway to my apartment because we do live on a hill. I will probably have to park like on the lower side of the building and walk up the hill, which is going to be a feat because I have Chance with me and he'll try to get a running start, of course. So I will update you with any changes if something happens and I run into another roadblock or something. Okay, so if there were no trees and everything was flat, I could probably see my apartment from here. No, we don't have a red light in the little town that I live in. That's all we have is our caution light. I'm at four-way stop, and I did hit a couple slick spots, but I was going slow and I had good control of the car, so everything was fine there. Now, like I said, we'll have to see what my driveway looks like to see if I might be able to make it up the driveway. We're gonna try once and see what happens. Y'all, it's looking good. It's looking good. We're almost there. Keep going, Betsy. Keep going, Betsy. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Like I said, our other vehicle is down at the bottom, but I made it back to my spot. So